came from a desperate environment. The Knight of Cups upright, romance, charming, graceful, invitations, follow your hearts and dreams. That's what you realized you had to do. You had to realize you couldn't be scared to leave this past person behind you. It was okay to be somebody new. It was okay to have a heart in the first place. Okay? This kind of background, this kind of shit, you literally have to learn how to have a heart first to even be able to follow your hearts and dreams. But that's why you at this place where you don't even mind helping others now, because you know what it feels like to be here and not at your own consequence. Just some shit you probably born into. Yeah. Hold on, y'all. King of Pentacles in reverse, failing business, poor financial decisions, materialistic instability, excessive work capacity. This is that shit from that background that you're reflecting on. And you probably having these memories now, because mind you, this probably was like a way past, way long ago, probably decades ago or some shit, depending on how old you are. But you have these kind of reflections to, you know, in the future, which is the future now from when that happened, to remind you not to go back to these places, to remind you of what put you there in the first place, to remind you what was keeping you stuck. You having these memories for a reason, to remind you not to be this person. That's why you having these reflections. And even especially with what's going on in the world, is, you know, to keep you focused, to keep you, you know, from them old thoughts creeping back in. 3 of Cups upright. So delight, celebrations, parties, gatherings, social events, and friendships. Now, mind you, you went from here. Oh man, we started off here, now you ended up here. That's a hell of a fucking reflection. I'm not gonna say nothing. Let me just see this, just for confirmation. This is the reason, another thing that you're reflecting on, probably wondering, how do I say this? What it was you wasn't seeing back then. It's a part of this judgment. Some of that thought of what was keeping you here. Just to make sure you don't come back around again. I'm gonna be honest, if you're going through this reflection, you shouldn't let that be any of your fears, because the simple fact is you having this reflection lets you know you don't want to go back here. You don't want to go back to being this person. You don't want to go back to feeling this way. Okay? But if you just need an answer, just to have your own sense of closure. 7 of Pentacles in reverse. Lack of long-term vision, laziness, lack of reward, being delayed, impatience, limited success, and unfinished work. I don't think you have any of these fears. You have to worry about any of these kind of fears creeping back up to you now, because I don't even think you that same person anymore. All right, y'all.